City of West Miami virtual meeting. Today is Wednesday, July 19. It is 10 a.m. and we will start our meeting. Madam Clerk, if you could please read it to the record, how to join and participate in our Zoom virtual meeting, please.
Yes, Madam Mayor, good morning to all. To join a special virtual meeting in the City of West Miami, you may join through Zoom at https://zoom.us/j/3255236059. And you may join through by phone by dialing this number 1301-715-8592 or 1253-215-8782. When you connect, a machine will ask you for the meeting ID, then dial 325-523-6059, followed by a pound sign. And if you wait a few minutes, an administrator accepts and gives you access to the meeting.
Thank you.
Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Okay, with that said, Mr. Penna, I'm sorry, yes, Mr. Penna, please, for the invocation. If we could all rise for the invocation.
Loving Heavenly Father, we come to you this hour asking your blessing. And as we are gathered together, we pray for guidance in the matters at hand and ask that you would clearly show us how to conduct our work with the spirit of joy and enthusiasm. Give us the desire to find ways to excel in our work. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Penna. If we will remain standing, Ms. Aguilar, if you could lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Yes, please put your hand over your heart and let's recite our Pledge Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Madam Manager. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Roll call, Mayor Rhonda Rodriguez.
Present.
Vice Mayor Eric Diaz-Padrón will join later. Commissioner Candida Blanca.
I see her, Madam
Present.
Clerk, she's there.
Commissioner Juan Blanes.
Present.
Commissioner Luciano Suarez.
Yes.
Present. You have a quorum, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda.
Item 4, presentation of minutes for approval for July 15th, 2020 regular commission virtual meeting.
I need a motion.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
Thank you. Madam Clerk?
You want me to call the vote? Okay. Commissioner Suarez, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanes?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanca?
Yes.
Mayor Rodriguez?
Yes.
4-0, item passes.
Thank you. And now I see we have a lot more participants. I'd like to welcome everyone who's joined. Mr. Sierra, thank you for being here. Ms. Velasquez, welcome back. And I see a lot of other names. So welcome to all to our virtual commission meeting. It is indeed a pleasure to have you all participate this morning. Okay, next item on the agenda, Madam Clerk.
Item 5, public comments.
Has anyone registered for public comments?
Not as of now, Madam Mayor.
Okay, of those that are participating, does anyone wish to comment at this time?
If I need to register, I would like to register.
Okay. It's actually per meeting. So each meeting that you will participate in, if you'd like to make a comment, you'll just register with the clerk, and that's it. So yeah, it's per meeting.
Okay.
Did you wish to say anything at this time, Ms. Velasquez?
Not right now.
Okay. Okay, very good. All right, so Madam Clerk, we will proceed. Next item on the agenda.
Item 6, report of the city manager.
Thank you. Madam Mayor, as advised yesterday afternoon, I have not been able to prepare a written report. However, I want to cover a couple of items so that the record will reflect the projects that we have been working on. And if I may, I'll get started with that. We are working on the amendments to the budget so that we can be ready to present to you the tentative budget with the changes that have been forecasted that we are including in the budget. So we hope to have your budget books shortly after the long weekend so that you can have time to review that. I will be meeting with the commissioners individually again before the publication of the budget so that we can give you the courtesy of those items that we have had to revisit because of other agencies that we rely on for budget information. The next item is I just signed a letter for an application that Robert Ruano has filed on behalf of the city of West Miami, or will be filing today. It's a forestry grant. You know that we are recognized as a tree city. And in order to continue that standing with the Department of, with the Tree City USA, we have to do everything we can to continue to nurture our tree program. And this year, our grant is going to be focused on maybe hiring a professional horticulturist or someone who knows enough about trees that could give us some solid recommendations and somewhat of a master plan so that we can follow that in the coming years. The the grant application is a total of $30,000. And 15,000 comes with a from the city's budget, and that will be amended as well or be included in the budget. And we are applying for from the Division of Agriculture, we're applying for the balance, which is a $15,000 grant for a total of a $30,000. The next item in my report, I've been involved, as you know, Madam Mayor, and as you have, with the CARES Act. There's a lot going on with the CARES Act, which is the reimbursement for all COVID-19 related expenses. As you know, at some point, I believe I gave you a memo as of June 30th. Our expenses totaled more or less $62,000. And it is the city's goal to be able to recover every dime of it through FEMA and the balance of it through Miami-Dade County with the use of CARES Act money. And so it was our intention to bring to you the contract with a memorandum of understanding today. However, there continues to be concerns. As you know, I belong to the Managers Association, our local chapter, who is very involved as well with the Miami-Dade County Mayor's Office and the Deputy Mayor's Office on the use of CARES Act. I've been providing you with updates along the way as to why we felt it was premature to bring these contracts to your attention at this time. There's still some reluctance because you know that every time you get into federal money or tap into federal money, there are strict requirements and guidelines for audits, federal audits, single audit requirements, and things that could potentially come back. And if we don't include all of these items in the contract, then then we're leaving the city somewhat unprotected for the future. So I do believe that we're closer than we were before to coming back with an interlocal agreement for your consideration. The next item in my report includes FEMA. We're still working with FEMA, believe it or not, on Hurricane Irma. We're trying to recover money for the projects that were not paid by our insurance company, the Florida Municipal Insurance Trust, actually the Florida League of Cities. They are our general liability and property damage carriers. And so we're working with FEMA. They opened up a window for us to be able to pursue these projects that we would otherwise have paid either by use of budget dollars or by use of impact fees. So we are working with them in trying to recoup those dollars as well. That probably concludes my report. Unless there's any questions, I will be ready to address agenda items. Madam Mayor, I have one request, if possible. We have Lindsay Larson with us with the Florida Municipal Insurance Trust. And I would like to see if you would be kind enough to consider the issue of the medical insurance after we finish our reports. I know that that Lindsay is very busy and she's got a lot of renewals right now with cities throughout the state of Florida. And I was wondering whether we could talk about that at some point early on the agenda.
Duly noted, Madam Clerk. Let's take Ms. Larson out of order and let's put her right after item number 9, which is actually, let's put her right before unfinished business, after the report of the mayor.
Duly noted.
Thank you. Okay, Madam Manager, is that all for your report?
That
Madam Mayor?
concludes my report.
Thank you. I have a question. It's about something you reported, but Mr. Penna, how long have we been participating with a Tree City USA, or how long have we held that designation?
This will be the 3rd year that we're in. Next year will be the 4th year.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, sir. Okay, Madam Clerk, next item on the agenda.
Item 7, report of the city attorney.
Madam Mayor, good morning, everybody, and good morning to participants. Madam Mayor, I have another special request. I understand that there is an attorney present that represents one of the Mr. Lastra's requests. And as a matter of professional courtesy and in order to avoid that Mr. Lastra is being charged a little bit more, I would like to also, if there is an attorney representing the Lastra brothers, to be heard as a special consideration, okay?
Yes, sir. Would you like to take Mr. Cass and Mr. Lastra right after Ms. Larson?
Well, Mr. Cass is very, very short, actually.
Okay,
I think that it would be about 2 minutes.
but don't we have to hear Mr. Cass along with Mr. Lastra on the whole item? And I see that.
No, just on the mitigation of a special lien that is outside of the city of West Miami. All I have to say is that lien is outside of the city of West Miami, that we should issue a total clearance and release of that lien.
Okay, so Mr. Cass will only be speaking on item H, which is partial lease of lien for a property not located in the city of West Miami.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so then, Mr. Attorney, would you like to take Mr. Cass right before, if it's going to be that short, right before Ms. Larson? And Ms. Larson, if that's okay with you?
Yes.
Okay,
And
Okay,
that's
so
in
then-
order to avoid Mr. Lastra to be charged with attorney's fees that he has to.
all right, so then, Madam Clerk, we will take item, and I'm scrolling through here, we will take item H right after the report of the mayor, and then Ms. Larson will be right after item H.
Yes, Madam Mayor.
Well, it's very short. The only thing that we have to say is that the litigation, the certiorari filed by Banium is still pending. There's no issue by the court yet. The court has not even addressed a schedule. And once the schedule is set, it's usually about 60 days. So it's a protracted litigation. And not only because of the coronavirus, but also is the overwhelming number of cases that the court has. So there's no news at this point on the writ of certiorari appeal filed by Banium. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Attorney. Madam Clerk, next item.
Next item is item 8, report of the city engineers.
Mr. Alonso, Mr. Nessie, do we have any reports?
I have no report. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next item.
Item 8, committee reports, report of the mayor.
Are there any committee reports? Hearing none, I do have Actually, and again, I apologize for all, I said this before, you might have come on. I'm working for the first time without a printed agenda, so I'm scrolling through because in the new world of Zoom, I ran out of ink and couldn't print my agenda. So I'm trying to scroll through. Madam Clerk, do we have? Actually, it's an agenda item. I was going to report on my appointment, but it is an agenda item. So with
It is.
that said, I do not have a report. Okay. That's it. Next item.
Yes, on any other committee, no reports? Then, Madam Mayor, we proceed then to item 11H as requested. Item 11H, this is a partial release of lien for a property not located in the city of West Miami.
Let me give some background. Pursuant to statute and the law, anytime that there is a lien filed in the city of West Miami for whatever reason, that would inure also and would lien any other property owned by that particular individual outside of the city of West Miami. In other words, if there's 10 properties outside of the city of West Miami, one lien filed in the city of West Miami, the lien filed in the city of West Miami would also lien all of the other liens. However, in this particular case, if I can assist me, which one is the one that is outside of the city of West Miami, Madam Clerk? 1601. I'm sorry. What is the address outside of the city of West Miami?
Sir,
I can speak to
are
that
you
if you'd like,
prepared?
Council.
Excuse me?
Good morning. This is Mark Cass. I represent Mr. Lastra, who is on this matter. I mean, I was going to assist you and give you the address of that property if you wanted.
Thank you.
Okay.
The property at issue that we're seeking and I appreciate, thank you, Mr. Villalobos, for taking us early. The property in question that we're requesting the release of the code lien against is 10425 Southwest 139th Court in unincorporated Dade County.
At some point in time, the owner of that property owned also the property located within the city of Miami. But however, that property was sold and therefore the lien of the property outside of the city of West Miami should be released because the owner of that property outside of the city of West Miami no longer has an interest within the city of West Miami. So the lien within the city of West Miami would continue, but you have to release, as a matter of law, the lien on the property located outside of the city of West Miami. And you should authorize the city manager to issue forthwith a release of lien on that property.
Thank you, Mr. Attorney. Thank you, Mr. Cass. Mr. Attorney, I see this is not a resolution or anything, but it does, I'm seeing underneath that it's going to require a vote or just an authorization to the city manager?
It's an authorization to the city manager to release that lien, Madam Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone opposed to authorizing the city manager to proceed with the partial release of lien for a property not located in the city of West Miami? Hearing no opposition, Madam Manager, you have that authorization.
I need a affirmative vote by the commission.
An affirmative by each, okay?
I think
Madam
there's
Clerk,
I
call the
think there's a
vote.
commissioner trying to speak.
I
I hang
see,
my hand.
I see you, Commissioner, go ahead.
Well, I think before we give a release, he should pay all these fines he owns to the city.
Commissioner, we're only speaking of item H yet. The other items have not come before us at this time. This is only item H.
I understand, but in order to give the release, we have to be sure he pay all the monies he owns to the city.
There's two owners in that on that property. One owner remains with the entire lien on that property. And as a matter of law, once you sell a property, you sell all of the liabilities as well as the assets So therefore, as a matter of law, the property outside of the city of West Miami, the owner of that property sold the assets and the liability to the present owner. They were co-owners at the time, so the city is not losing anything by releasing this particular property. And as a matter of law, you have to release that property.
Well, I understand he have a lien because he own money. So he should pay all the money. He or his partner be clear before before we release the property. That's what my thinking. That's what I think.
Okay, I'm giving my legal opinion that you have, the commission has to release that lien at this point because the owner of that property does not own the property within the city of West Miami. It's my legal opinion.
I have a question.
Go ahead,
Yes.
sir.
Yeah, Mr. Attorney, just to be clear here, and for my own understanding of these matters, I was always under the impression that you could not sell a property to someone else if the property had a lien. I always understood that the lien had to be taken care of before a sale could take place.
Not necessarily, Mr. Commissioner. The lien, once you sell a property, you sell the property with the goods of the property and with the bad things of the property. So whoever assumes this property within the city of West Miami was owned by two brothers. One of them sold his interest to the brother that still owns the property in the city of West Miami. So the property in the city of West Miami is owned by an individual that is responsible for all of the liens, and the person that sold that, there's some background noise there that I cannot understand. So, no, you don't have to pay all the liens before you sell all the property, sir, in this particular case.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
If I
Mr.
may,
Yes.
Madam Mayor, just for the purpose of clarifying,
Yes, ma'am.
for the record, the attorney, Mr. Koss for Jordan Lastra, provided the quitclaim deed that shows the transaction between the two brothers where Mr. Jordan Lastra relinquished his rights to the property to his brother. Now, in the summary report, because we actually looked at the Miami-Dade County Property Appraiser's Office, anytime we bring a matter of lien to the commission, this is a customary practice. Right now, the rightful or the legal owner of the property is Mr. Joel Lastra, and he's got some issues with pending mitigation of liens that are separate, addressed separately as separate agenda items today. This is a partial release for the brothers' transaction only.
Thank you for that clarification, Madam Manager. And obviously, we will be touching upon those when we get to those agenda items.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions before the clerk calls the vote at the attorney's request? Any other questions from the table? No questions, Madam? Mr. Commissioner, go ahead.
Yeah, according with the manager, this is a partial release. I agree with that if it's a partial.
Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk, call the vote, please. We're on item H, partial release of lien for a property not located in the city
Yes.
of West Miami.
I was unmuting myself. Yes, Commissioner Suarez, how do you vote?
Yes, for a partial release.
Okay, Commissioner Blanes,
Yes.
Commissioner Blanca,
Yes.
Mayor Rodriguez,
Yes.
4-0, item passes.
I don't think you called Commissioner Blanes, or did I miss that?
Yes.
At this
Yes,
point,
I
then, Madam Manager, you should issue the release of lien forthwith and get together with Mr. Cass. Mr. Cass, please give me a call after the commission concludes, okay?
I will, and I appreciate everyone's time. Thank you very much. So just so I'm clear, someone in the city has the actual partial release that you and I had agreed on the form, and
Yes.
it's going to be executed. Who would I contact on that?
Yes. The manager has that release, and to further clarify to the commission, The release releases only that property, and within
Yes.
that document, the property within the city of Miami remains lien with all of the responsibilities that now inures to that particular property within the city of West Miami. So the city of West Miami is actually losing nothing. And it would be up to the commission to either mitigate whatever liens they have or not. But the city outside, again, as a matter of law, must be released. And
Before I leave the meeting, so the person I should correspond with as far as a practical matter, getting the actual document would be whom?
the city manager. By the way, Mr. Cass, you have to pay for the release of lien, okay?
That's not a problem. Just tell me how much is that?
Okay. It's minimal. I believe that it's $10 or something.
Okay, but, okay, and my client.
We'll be in touch after the meeting, Mr.
Okay, I
Cass. I'll
get
sign the
Mr.
document. I'll email you after the meeting. And then we can do it, we can send it off for the clerk of the court to record it appropriately.
Yeah, I'll touch base with you because I may prefer to have the original that I can provide so that I can record it. But we can talk after the meeting. I appreciate
Sure.
it. Thank you very
sir.
much.
You're
Thank you.
very welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you. Mr. Cass, thank you for participating in our meeting this morning.
Thank you.
Okay, Madam Clerk, next is Ms. Larson. Ms. Larson, thank you for your patience. Madam Clerk, Ms. Larson's item, please.
Yes, item 11D, resolution of the mayor and city commission of the city of West Miami authorizing the city manager to renew the October 1st to that 2020 through September 30th, 2021 medical, dental, vision, and prescription programs with the Florida Municipal Insurance Trust, providing for effective date.
Madam Mayor, before Lindsay makes her presentation, I'd like to go on record so that we can report that the city of West Miami has the medical, dental, vision, and prescription program for its eligible members, city officers, employees of the city, and dependent coverage with the Florida Municipal Insurance Trust. Every year during the month of August, we bring you the renewal numbers right after they conduct their actuary study. And that is what determines the rate of a decrease or increase on our premiums. And that helps us budget adequately and establish our rates for the eligible members. That being said, we have here, as you know, Lindsay Larson representing the Florida Municipal Insurance Trust. And if you wish, Lindsay can talk to us a little bit about what we should expect this year that she has communicated with us. And I as well have communicated with you over the past couple of months as to what those expectations for the renewed premiums are.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Ms. Larson. Go right ahead.
Everyone, and hello, commissioners and Madam Mayor. I'm excited to be here.
Ms. Larson, I'm not sure if it's just me, but you're not coming in. Your audible is not very clear at all. Now you're muted. Try again. No, you're muted again. Unmute.
We can't hear you, Lindsay.
Absolutely nothing. And you are unmuted as far as I can see. No, nothing.
Nothing.
Just push Alt A and you'll be unmuted.
She is unmuted.
Miss
We just don't get a sound.
Lindsay, why don't you exit and come back into the meeting? Try that. Leave the meeting and come back because there's nothing. Go back, leave and come back. Now you're good. You're good. Okay, perfect. Welcome back. No, welcome. Listen, this is how things work now. We leave, we come back, we work with technology as best we can. So you're back and you're loud and clear. Go ahead.
All right, well, thank you, and I'm sorry about that. It is raining cats and dogs up here in Titusville, so maybe that was why I have no idea.
That maybe. Go right ahead.
Well, thank you, and hello, everyone. Like your Madam Manager said, I'm here to present the renewal. Right now with COVID going on and the crazy times going on, renewal has been a little bit higher than expected. And with that being said, I wanted to touch a little bit on what medical trend is down south right now, because we are down south, it is the hot zone for COVID. And so medical trend, what that is really like the inflation for medical. So it goes up each year, and this year medical trend down south is actually around 10%. So everyone's renewal rates and renewal as far as medical goes is around 10% or higher. Of course, how we come about renewal is going over the actuary going over claims and kind of how we expect the group to be running. Because of the size of your group, we cannot share claims information, and that is a HIPAA rule. So the actuary, it looks over everything and kind of sees how you are running. With that being said, the city of West Miami has been a great partner. You've been with the FMIT for a very long time. You guys participate in Hometown Health, which is the employee wellness program. And that also helps to reduce cost on the medical insurance part of it. So with that being said, again, remember to take into consideration medical trend. The city is looking at a 12% renewal on the current medical plan this year. Again, we have to remember it is a hard time right now with COVID and everything going on. But you guys, came in just a tad higher than medical trend. So for your area, you guys are doing great. As far as dental goes, there was a tiny slight increase. We are talking cents. But you guys have been running great with that. And then of course, on the vision plan, there was no increase. And like I said, the city, they do have access to the Hometown Health program. I know we do get some participation in that, but the more participation we can get, the better. That is going to help in the background and catching those catastrophic claims before they happen. But other than that, you guys have been a great partner. I always hear great things from the employees. We never really have any issues with the medical plan. And with that is your medical renewal, your health renewal with FMIT. Very short and sweet. Are there any questions I can answer?
Thank you, Lindsay. Does anyone have any questions for Ms. Larson? So Ms. Larson, I just want to be sure you said the average increase across the board for everyone everywhere with all the COVID that's going on is about 10%. So we're pretty much right there with 12%. We're not that much higher. So it's nothing that I can say that we can fix or change. We're pretty much standard. That's a standard increase.
Yes, absolutely. Especially, like I said, down south, we are definitely seeing actually renewals come in much higher because of COVID. So you guys, over the scheme of things, actually are running fairly well. So
good.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Any questions from the table for Ms. Larson? Madam Manager, go ahead.
Yes, Lindsay, and just for the record, and I know we've talked about this, and I also spoke to Aaron, your counterpart there. I do know that there's an expectation moving forward that this trend may continue for a couple of years because of COVID-19 and all the medical procedures that have been placed on hold this year that are going to affect us next fiscal year as well. Is that correct?
Right, that is correct. And what Madam Manager is talking about, putting procedures on hold and things, that is the medical field. So as far as people wanting to do procedures like voluntary surgeries or, you know, people not going to their PCP, which is your primary care physician, because they want to stay out of the doctor's office. So those have kind of been put on hold for a little bit. And that is what Madam Manager is talking about, that when COVID starts to slow down, you're going to see more doctor visits come about. And that is just because people are going to feel more safe going to the doctor. The procedures will start up again. So that is what she's talking about. So there may be, you know, this trend, this medical trend going on for the next few years. However, with that being said, I do want to let you all know that right now with FMIT, we are having virtual doctor visits and telehealth medicine at no cost to your employees. So if there is a concern that an employee may have, they can still go in and call and do virtual doctor visits at no cost. So FMIT has taken all that cost share. So we are trying to help the member as best we can. So we do have that program in place right now.
Ms. Larson, let me ask you, and is that just going to be not for, obviously for now during COVID-19, that we will not be charged for the telemedicine visits?
Yes, so it is I believe it's an executive order that it goes until actually October 22nd, 2020, and then they will reevaluate that. However, virtual doctor visits after that time, if for some reason they don't extend that, virtual doctor visits are still only $5 on your plan.
Okay.
So yeah, but we will definitely, I will keep in contact with Madam Manager and Aneri and make sure that that is all communicated.
I was just going to say, Madam Manager, Madam Clerk, let's be sure that we notify all the employees that is a huge benefit being provided to us by our insurance trust. So yes, let's be sure that all the employees know that literally they can do a virtual doctor visit and there is no charge. And obviously after that, it's minimal, it's $5, but I want to be sure they are all aware of the fact that they can just place a phone call for their medical needs right now.
We will be issuing an updated memo as we do every year, right around renewal, that includes that information, Madam Mayor.
So that'll be coming out soon.
Just a personal issue, Madam Mayor.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
I need to contact Ms. Larson after the meeting. Would you mind giving me your phone number so I can call you? Or give it out to the manager and I'll give you a call, okay?
We have it, Mr. Villalobos. We'll be happy to provide it.
Okay. Thank you, Lindsay.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Are there any other questions for Ms. Larson at this time?
No, I don't have any.
Okay, hearing no questions. Madam Clerk, let me get to this item on my
Yes,
agenda.
we read the
Scrolling.
resolution, Madam Mayor.
That's where I was going. Okay. Go ahead, Madam Clerk. You've read the resolution already?
We've read the resolution already. We just need like the vote.
Okay, call the vote, please.
Motion,
We've got,
motion,
I need a second.
Second.
Thank you. Call the vote.
Yes, on the vote, Commissioner Blanes, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanca,
Yes.
Commissioner Suarez,
yes.
Mayor Rodriguez,
Yes.
4-0, item passes.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Larson, for being present in our meeting today.
Yeah, thank you. And sorry about that little blip I had.
No, absolutely fine. No issues at all. It's the new way we do things. So all is good.
Well, thank you. And enjoy your day, everyone. And hopefully I'll get to see you in person soon.
Hopefully.
Yes.
And
All right.
thank you. Madam Clerk, back to the order of the agenda, please.
Yes, Madam Mayor, item 10, unfinished business. Under unfinished business, item 10A, follow-up report and recommendation in reference to planning and zoning board meetings.
Thank
Madam
you.
Mayor, if I may, I know this is a follow-up item and I know there were interested parties and pursuant to Mr. Penna's report on the pending applications that he has regarding planning and zoning virtual meeting possibilities.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
have included a memo issued by Mr. Penna, Director of Planning and Zoning, stating all the processes or the processes that we follow regarding the review of applications and the ability of the city to go virtual with planning and zoning. I know that Commissioner Blanes has expressed an interest, as well as other commissioners, to move forward with these meetings. And we have checked in with all of our planning and zoning board members, and I am advised by Mr. Penna, unless something has changed, that we are good to go should the commission authorize for us to schedule virtual meetings for the planning and zoning board meetings. And this would be my recommendation, if you would like to hear it, is that we hear residential applications so we don't hold up residents with their plans to make additions to their homes or 2 stories or the pending applications that we have. And additionally, I wanted to bring something up that I discussed with you, Madam Mayor, yesterday on commercial property applications for virtual meetings.
Yes, and I'd also like you, Madam Manager, for the sake of the residents that are participating, and this item is of interest to them, I'd like you to read Mr. Penna's memorandum into the record, please, the one that we have in our package. And then, yes, go ahead with what you wanted to talk about.
Okay, so I'll read the memo into the record, or Juan, if you would like to read it, it's your memo, it's up to you, but I'll be happy to read it. I have a copy of it, and it's dated August 10th. Juan, did you want to read that, or do you want me to go ahead?
Go right ahead.
Okay, thank you. It's addressed to me from Juan Penna, Director of Planning and Zoning. And it says, as requested, I have reviewed the ability to have virtual planning and zoning meetings for request of residential 2-story addition, variances to existing zoning restrictions, and redevelopment of multifamily dwellings. The process for the office staff would basically remain the same. We receive the request application with the proposed plans, review the application and plans. We prepare the notices to the public, 500 radius feet around the subject property. We publish an ad in the newspaper with the pertinent information and the virtual meeting information, both via computer, internet, and for those without the use of a computer or an internet, we will provide telephone numbers where they can call in to participate. We will provide certified mail of the notice of hearing, delivery by the U.S. Postal Service. We will post the property with a request for the change. We will include a set of plans of the proposed change with a notice and make available the Public Services Conference Room for those that wish to review the proposed change, with a form for their comments to be read into the record at the virtual meeting. We will have an additional person monitoring the virtual meeting for any participation and questions asked during that meeting or during that hearing. Upon a determination by the board, we will notify 500 radius feet around the subject property of the actions in the meeting for that specific item or application. The same process will be repeated for items presented before the City Commission for final approval or disapproval. The information is for our review and consideration.
Thank you, Madam Manager. And I felt that was important to read that because there was a lot of important and pertinent information in there that I wanted to be sure that everyone heard. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so we've talked about applications for residential, I think are all covered under the memo issued by Juan Penna. But I want to talk to you a little bit about commercial properties. Because of COVID-19, there are some expectations that a good 40% of the businesses countywide may be closing down because they just don't have the capital to stay open with all the restrictions that are imposed upon business owners under the new norm guide or manual, if you would. And we don't know how much longer this will last. So we will see some businesses that will probably close their doors, and you will see new businesses applying for occupational licenses and possibly special use permits. So what I would like to do is for you to consider also allowing your planning and zoning board to listen to applications involving sign permit applications for uses that are authorized under the zoning ordinance that regulates the types of businesses that do not require a special use permit for planned development. Just a business owner wanting to open up his door or her door, and allowing them to proceed with sign permits and occupational license permits without, without any delays. And we want to encourage businesses to remain open or new ones to set up shop in the city of West Miami. And that would be my recommendation.
Thank you, Madam Manager. Mr. Penna, is that the only thing that a small business would have to come forward with? Would be perhaps a sign request? And I'm speaking specifically small business. And the reason I ask, because I feel we must limit this to small business. I cannot open up virtual planning and zoning meetings for large development. So I do think we need to designate and be sure we put a limit that this is only for obviously residential as stated and small business. What else might a small business have to come before us for?
That would be basically it for right now.
Okay, so I have no problem as long as it is written somewhere and noted and on record that these planning and zoning meetings virtual will be only for, as stated, residential 2-story additions, variances to existing zoning restrictions and redevelopment of multifamily dwellings, and small business signage.
Correct.
And pools too, right?
But that
I'm
would
sorry?
fall under, I'm sorry, go ahead, Mr. Penna.
And pools too, right?
Yeah, that's under zoning regulations for residential.
Okay.
Yeah, that would
thank you.
fall under the residential 2-story additions, variances to existing zoning restrictions, and redevelopment of multifamily dwellings. That would all fall under the residential portion of Mr. Penna's memorandum.
Correct.
So the manager would just adding the thing about the small business signage. I have no problem with that. And Mr. Penna, you checked with all of our planning and zoning members, and they are all capable of participating in a Zoom virtual planning and zoning meeting?
Correct. The ones that don't have the capabilities at home will join us here in the conference room up front and in the commission chamber.
Okay, and I noticed here in your memorandum that we will include a set of the plans of the proposed change with a notice and make available to the public in our conference room for any of those who wish to review the plans. So that is excellent. We couldn't do it without that. Are there any questions or comments on this
Thank
item
you,
from the
Mr.
table?
Penna. Thank you very much, Mr. Penna.
You're welcome. That will be in the public services conference room.
I'm sorry, yes, it does say public services conference room. Yes. And I know that there have been challenges and concerns from other municipalities, but each one is taking it individually and finding ways to do it, which is what we're doing here. We're finding a way for our city to be able to do this in a way, to present the least challenges. Now, Mr. Attorney, I know you opined in the last meeting and every time this comes up, you've opined on this matter. So before I open it up to the table, I want to hear from you. I think the manager and Mr. Penna have done their due diligence, and they have found a way that we can continue to provide this service to our residents who have expressed to us a great need that we're able to do this. So I'd like to get your input on this item.
Yes, Madam Manager, Mr. Penn and I have been working on this diligently, and in addition to that, there's a program called Local Government Topics, in which most, if not all, of the city and county attorneys of the state of Florida participate. There's still certain municipalities and counties throughout the state of Florida that do not have zoning matters because of the special nature of the zoning. It's actually not the same as a commission meeting. It's a quasi judicial issue in which testimony must be taken. Cross-examination are allowed, and examination of newly discovered evidence are presented. However, in this particular case, and the city of West Miami, I joined the manager and Mr. Pena, and our concurrent opinion is that we should have, as the report of Mr. Pena provides, and that should be open for the citizens to be able to apply as they have applied before. So therefore, I do agree that we should have the presently the zoning matters are described by the.
Thank you, Mr. Attorney. And again, thank all of you for helping us tailor this so that we are able to have these during these very unusual times that we are all living through. I'm very happy we were able to find a way to meet our residents' request. We've been talking about this for a long time and we didn't think we could, but obviously we found a way. So I am very happy for that. And now I'm going to open it up to the table. Any other comments or questions or concerns?
Look at my hand, please. Look at
Yes,
my hand.
Commissioner. Yes, Commissioner Suarez, go ahead.
Yeah, I congratulate the administration for bringing this item to the table. I think the city, the residents, everybody was waiting for something like this because we have to help the city keep running and keep the residents happy with their needs. So I congratulate the administration for this matter.
Thank you,
sir.
Commissioner. Now, obviously, this is just a report. So, Madam Clerk, I don't believe there is any vote on this. Do you just need our approval to have the manager and Mr. Penna proceed as discussed?
I would say so, Madam Mayor. Also,
Okay.
a certain resident, Christina Sierra, has registered. I'm assuming she wanted to speak on this item. I don't know if she still
Thank
wants
you.
to.
Thank you. I know, and I believe Ms. Velasquez was present in the last meeting on the same item and on this same item. So at this
Yes.
time, is there anyone from the public that's on this meeting that would like to comment or speak at this time?
I would just like to say thank you to the director, Mr. Pena, to the city attorney, to the commissioners, to the city manager and the city clerk for considering this and for working so diligently and assisting us, the residents. So
Just
I
for the
appreciate-
record, Ms. Rios, right? Leticia
Yeah.
Rios. And your address?
6480 Southwest 20th Terrace.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Sierra, I see you.
out here in space.
Go ahead.
A nice
I
way of
like it.
hiding.
I love the virtual background. I like it.
It's better than the messy room. So
Go ahead.
no, I just want to say thank you to you guys, especially the commissioners. Commissioner Blanes was very proactive as far as emailing both my wife and I, and yourself as well, Madam Mayor. So I appreciate that. We actually, my wife and I, after having discussed it and going back and forth, we actually ended up submitting plans that are actually now pending review. I believe they're actually pending Mr. Pena's final review for zoning. And we ultimately found, because of all the utilities that we have, that there was, we ended up having to adhere by the setbacks given within the city of West Miami. But more than anything, I wanted to at least join and at least back Ms. Rios, because I think that her cause and the reason why she's looking for a variance and and all of that is really a just one, and one that should be expedited as quickly as possible, because I mean, she's trying to move her mom in from what I remember. So I wanted to at least be here, and I wanted to thank all of you. I know I didn't get to respond back to your emails, but I wanted to at least be here to thank all of you for being so responsive and proactive. And again, just honored and blessed to see you guys, the cohesiveness. I know sometimes it's difficult, but I just thank all of you guys for all of your hard work and everything you do for our city.
Thank you for your
Your
kind
background, by
words.
the way, I'd like to see how you make it so I can copy you.
Come by, cafecitos at 3, so whenever you want.
Thank you for
Mr.
your kind
Sierra,
words, Mr. Sierra.
what's your address for the record?
6036 Southwest 13th Terrace.
Thank you.
And Mr. Pena, if you don't mind just taking a look at the plans that you're pending, I don't mean to bug you, but let me tell you, Mr. Pena, I want to say this much: Lily and Mercy, they're gold, my friend. They're very good, very, very good. And if you didn't know it already, they're both fantastic. They've been very, very proactive, very responsive. So you have very good people in that office.
Thank you for that shout out, Mr. Sierra, and I have to agree with you. Our employees, they take their work, they do the work with much pride, and it shows. So thank you for that commendation. Anyone
Thank
else? Anyone else from the public that would like to speak at this time? Mr. Apolinar, go ahead.
Hello, my name is Juan Apolinar. I am, for the record, 6521 Southwest 20th Street. And I've been a resident of West Miami for over 20 years. The reason I joined today was for this particular agenda item, and I did see the video from last week, so I didn't want to, in my public comments, make any suggestions because I knew it was going to be discussed today. But I wanted to thank all the commissioners and you, Madam Mayor, on coming to a resolution on this issue that several of us have been having. So I want to thank everybody on the commission so we can move forward on our particular project. I particularly have a variance that's in application right now for a pool, like Mr. Sierra. So hopefully we'll get that accomplished before the end of the year, but I'm very happy that we came to a resolution on this issue. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, and you are more than welcome. We sometimes it takes us a little longer than we'd like, but and sometimes we agree to disagree, but we do hopefully always come to a consensus that is in the best interest of most. So thank you for your kind words as well. And with that said, Madam Clerk, I believe this is just a report. So is there anyone opposed to giving the manager and Mr. Pena the authorization and the attorney to proceed with our planning and zoning virtual meetings as discussed and presented? I hear no opposition.
Madam Mayor.
Yes.
Mr. Blanes, Commissioner Blanes, would you like to speak on the item?
No, he's clapping.
Clapping.
He was clapping.
Oh, that's great.
He was clapping.
So we have consensus to hold the planning and zoning board meetings.
I just want to echo your words, Madam Mayor, and the words of Commissioner Suarez. I'm just very, very glad that, we're able to accomplish this for our residents. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So with that said, consensus is we will proceed with the planning and zoning virtual meetings as presented.
No,
next item, Madam Clerk.
Okay, Madam Mayor, would you like me to step into the new business agenda items with item 11A?
Yes, back to the order of the agenda, yes.
Okay, item 11, new business agenda items. This is the item 11A, a second reading and a public hearing. This is an ordinance of the Mayor and City Commission of the City of West Miami, Florida. Amending Chapter 2, Article 1, Section 2.6 of the City of West Miami Code of Ordinances entitled Group Insurance for City Officers and Employees, retired employees and new employees eligibility, maintaining insurance benefits for the city's present mayor and city commission members, re-elected and incumbent, grandfathering and maintaining the existing insurance benefits for currently employed individuals, grandfathering and maintaining the now existing insurance benefits for the office of the city manager, city attorney, and city clerk in the event they are reappointed to other positions, phasing out of certain group life insurance benefits for budgetary reasons, health and group life insurance benefits for newly elected mayor and city commission members and newly appointed city manager, city attorney, and city clerk, providing for severability, codification, and repeal of ordinances in conflict with this ordinance, and providing for an effective date. This is phase 3 of the ordinance, and this public hearing was advertised in July 29, 2020 in the newspaper of general circulation.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And this is a public hearing. Has
Madam Mayor.
anyone registered from the public to speak on this?
No, Madam Mayor.
Okay, with that said, I will open the public hearing. Upon hearing no one requesting to speak, I will close the public hearing. Madam Manager?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. As you know, we went through the agenda yesterday, and I've discussed this item with other commission members individually during different times since the issue was brought up. Today, we heard from our insurance representative at the League of Cities, and the issue is brought to the table because we have seen over the years an escalating and rising cost of medical insurance, our medical insurance plan, which is a very good plan, and we would like to keep it and make it available for many years to come to our staff. And so along the way, we've realized that we need to make some changes because we can no longer sustain this as a general fund item without it being subsidized or tweaked in some fashion by the members who enjoy the benefits of the plan. And so on June 10th, I issued a memo to the City Commission advising you that due to trends and the increases over time to the city's medical life insurance benefit program, that we have addressed some changes that would warrant a change to section 2.6 titled Group Insurance for City Officers and Employees, Retired Employees, and New Employees Eligibility. Today, we saw that our trend is going to be 12% increase, which rises the cost of providing medical insurance, dental, vision, and prescription to almost $1.1 million for next year, which is 1/6 of your budget. That being said, we provide insurance coverage to our employees and at no cost. And we do charge a premium, which we are revising at this time for increases for new employees, which we do from time to time based on the cost of insurance. And so any employee coming on board that wishes to have his or her family on the plan will probably be looking at higher rates and no life insurance coverage. Most cities are shying away from life insurance benefit coverages because that's an additional cost to the city or to the overall insurance plan. Our life coverage is held by the Hartford insurance company, and it comes at a price of about $30,000 a year, over and above the $1.1 million. And so what we're trying to do is find a balance, if you would, and maintain a healthy insurance plan and also take care of attrition. Most of us that have been with the city for a very long time, although we have no plans of going anywhere, or some of us don't anytime soon, but we are an aging group, and obviously that is a factor that affects us with the insurance plan. So what we'd like to do is, so we can honor our employees and their dedicated service to the city, we don't want to affect people that are on the plan, or our city attorney, or our members of the city commission who enjoy the benefit as well. We want to take care of making an amendment to the code to allow future generations to have to adhere to new amendments. And we want to take baby steps to accomplish what we need to do with the insurance program. And that's why this was brought to the table. So we're addressing premiums for employees that are going to be hired. Now that you approve the renewal of the program, we're ready to pass on some of these increases for new employees and for retired personnel that are still eligible to stay on the plan until they're 65 years old. As far as the members of this, the city officers, like the city clerk, the city attorney, the manager, and the mayor and city commission, there will be no changes to the insurance plan until those positions in the future are replaced by either new employees, new city officers, or new commissioners down the road. However, we want to cease offering life insurance to employees of the city and life insurance for new incoming city officers, meaning city attorneys, city managers, city clerks, and commission members. So we're honoring everybody who's here now, but we're paving the way for some restructuring in the future.
Thank you, Madam Manager. And let me add, as you said, you and I have been discussing this for a very, very long time. I really feel it is the fiscally responsible thing to do for our city. You know, the world is changing, and in corporate America, life insurance used to be, you know, that was just a standard, but now it is no longer. Corporate America has changed, and life insurance, speaking about that one aspect, is not offered hardly anywhere anymore. So I believe, you know, me, I've always been about building our reserves and saving money wherever we can. So I'm happy to see that we are all going on the path that you and I have talked about for a very long time. So I'm very happy that this is coming before us at this time. Are there any questions from the table for the manager?
Motion.
Okay, well, I'm looking
Motion to approve.
I'm looking for any questions before we motion. Commissioner, any questions? Commissioner Blanca, Commissioner Blanes, any questions?
No, I have an answer.
Okay,
Motion.
I have a motion. I need a second.
Second.
Call the vote.
Yes, Commissioner Blanes, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanca,
Yes.
Commissioner Suarez,
Yes.
Mayor Rodriguez,
Yes,
4-0, item passes.
thank you. Next item.
Item 11B, this is a first reading, an ordinance of the Mayor and City Commission of the City of West Miami adopting the revised building department fee schedule on attached Exhibit A for all building permits issued by the City of West Miami with an effective date of January 1st, 2021, providing for codification, inclusion in the City Code of Ordinances. This is phase 2 of ordinance, which is the first reading.
Thank you. This is a first reading, so there is no discussion. Madam Clerk, call the vote.
Yes, and this, the public hearing would be advertised properly, so we need a motion.
I need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Call
A
the
motion
vote.
by Commissioner Blanca, second by Commissioner Suarez. Commissioner Blanes, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Suarez,
Yes.
Commissioner Blanca,
Yes.
Mayor Rodriguez,
Yes,
4-0, item passes, and the public hearing and second reading of this ordinance will be advertised to be heard on September 16th at the City Commission meeting at 10 a.m.
thank you, Madam Clerk. And the next item on the agenda, please.
Item 11C, this is a first reading, an ordinance of the City of West Miami amending Chapter 17, Article 1 in general, adding a new section for Florida-friendly fertilizer use of urban landscapes within the City of West Miami as required by National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System of the State of Florida, County of Miami-Dade, and this is phase 2, also first reading.
Motion. Motion.
Second. Second.
I have a
Okay,
first
the
and a
motion
second.
by Commissioner Suarez, second by Commissioner Blanca. Commissioner Blanes, how do you vote? Commissioner Blanes, how do you
Yes.
vote? Yes. Commissioner Blanca,
Yes.
Commissioner Suarez,
Yes.
Mayor Rodriguez,
Yes.
4-0, item passes, and the public hearing and second reading will be advertised for September 16th, City Commission meeting at 10 a.m.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And we already did item D, so next
Correct.
item.
Yes, item 11E, this is a resolution of the mayor and city commission of the city of West Miami authorizing the city manager to accept a mitigation offer in the amount of blank from Joel Lastra on code enforcement lien case number 16-10016 for court violation at the property located at 6102 Southwest 13th Street, West Miami, Florida, providing that if payment in full is not paid by blank, then the amount owed shall revert to the original lien amount, providing for an effective date.
Madam Clerk and Mr. Attorney, let me ask you for a matter of procedure. I see that the clerk just read E, but I see item F is a resolution. Same resident as well as G. Would it be appropriate to read E, F, and G and that we may discuss them all at one time, or do we have to take them individually? I believe it's all about more or less the same thing.
The city attorney prepared 3 individuals resolution. Customarily, we have resolutions containing all the cases, but in this case, Mr. Villalobos considered that it was suitable to present the resolution separately, Madam Mayor.
So we should discuss them and take them each individually, not at one time. Like,
I would yield to the city attorney on that.
will the discussion, when we have it, not be on all 3 of them about the same thing?
It's not the same thing, Madam Mayor. I should, the reason that I suggested is that this is the property that we had originally with the prior resolution with Mr. Cass, and I think that we should have the issues separate.
Okay.
There's
Thank
some
you.
cleared and the one that has not been cleared. So therefore, I think that you should have each separate.
Okay, thank you. Thank you,
The
sir.
resolutions that are presented today are all clear. So it's up to you.
Okay, no, we'll take them, we'll take them separately. I have no problem with that. Okay, the clerk has read item E. Mr. Penna, go ahead.
Our recommendation was gonna be for all 3, so I'll let the manager break it down and provide which how does she want to address the splitting of the recommendation?
Okay, Madam Manager, on 11E, we're gonna take them separately.
We're gonna take them separately. So then I'm going to recommend that the city commission, and let me go back to the actual violation now that we're gonna break them down. 1 second, please. Okay. Mr. Penna, correct me if I make a mistake along the way. These are your department cases, but in case 1610016, there has been a violation on the books for residential blight. Am I correct, Mr. Penna? This involved the painting of the outside of the general upkeep of the property.
That's correct.
Okay, the property owner is Joel Lastra. He's joining us during this virtual meeting. I explained to Mr. Lastra that these mitigations had to come before the board. And our recommendation is, he's got a hefty fine here. He's got over $24,000 in accrued fines and interest because of the time that these cases have been left unresolved. And so this being said, I would recommend, because these are not, this case in particular does not contemplate any structural or building permits associated to it. It is just the upkeep of the property and the painting, we recommend that if we were to break it down, that you consider a $5,000 mitigation for this one particular violation.
Madam Mayor, I have a question here. Pursuant to my information provided by the city administration, 1610016 refers to a wooden fence, not to the paint.
Which one are you on, Madam Manager? Mr. Attorney, you're correct. 17 is paint, 16 is wooden fence.
Then Juan, I think we've got this one wrong. Can you double check to make sure? But I think the city attorney, we stand corrected with the information given by the city attorney.
And I am going by a written report that has all 5. I'm looking at the sheet, the part of our package that has all 5 code enforcement liens on there. It's handwritten and it's broken down quite clearly on here.
The wooden fence, correct. 1610016 deals with a wooden fence.
Correct.
Juan, can you explain or can you confirm what you advised me, that a portion of that wooden fence came, it was actually falling and the property owner did not correct the violation when it was noted or observed by your code enforcement department? Is it
Correct.
the entire fence or was it a portion of the fence?
A portion of the fence, and it eventually was removed.
Okay, so when it says clear on here, that this one has been cleared.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. All right, so on that one, Madam Manager, on 1610016 Blight Residential wooden fence, it has been cleared. You're recommending a $5,000 mitigation.
Yes, ma'am, and only because there is really not a building permit associated structural issue with that. It was corrected. And all we're trying to do is recoup the time spent on the file as we normally bring these to you.
And that is exactly what that does. That does recoup our cost. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Madam Mayor, you should allow the applicant to an opportunity to speak.
Yes, sir, I will. I'm hearing from staff first, and I was going there right now. Mr. Lastra, we are speaking on 11E, and on this one, we're speaking of the wooden fence violation, the Blight Residential wooden fence. Go ahead, sir.
Well, yeah, I removed when I received the letters, I removed the fence a long time ago. Painted the house a long time ago. I removed the generator 10 years ago.
Thank you, Mr. Lastra. Okay, Madam Clerk, on 11E, you have read the resolution, correct?
Yes, Madam Mayor.
Okay, I need a motion.
I got a question.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Commissioner.
Mr. Lastra just said that he removed the fence a long time ago. He painted the house a long time ago and removed the generator a long time ago. So
He was speaking on all of them. I know we're only on one, but
so
he
I want to be clear. How long was it that this issue was ongoing?
The initial notice was cited in 2008, I believe, sir.
2008. And when was it cleared, Mr. Pena?
From what we have here is 2012 or 14. I'm not sure. I don't have the file in front of me. I'm going off my,
So it took like 5 or 6 years.
at least for them to notify us that the work was done, yes.
Commissioner, you muted yourself.
Mr. Lastra, I have a question for you. Why did it take you so long to do this?
I removed, I fixed all the problem, but I don't report to the city.
Yeah, but it's just said that you had a code enforcement violation for 5 or 6 years. Why was, I'm just curious. Why didn't you take care of it before? And it took 5-6 years for you to take care of it.
In 2009, I have a problem with the bank. I have a problem with the bank. Right now, I fixed the problem with the bank.
So you had an ongoing problem with the bank for 6 years.
Huh?
You had an ongoing problem with the bank for 6 years.
Yeah, more.
Oh, and that's why you didn't do it.
They increased the interest. Now I fixed the problem with the bank.
Okay, all right, good enough.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Mr. Lastra. Madam Clerk, you have read the resolution. I need just to remind everyone, Madam Manager, please, your recommendation for this item again was?
$5,000 mitigation settlement.
Thank you. And
And
at this
Madam
time,
Mayor.
we need to designate the time in which this will be paid. Go ahead.
Yes, I would recommend that it should be paid within the next 30 days, or the fine will revert back to the original amount. Mr. Penna, do you agree as discussed?
Yes.
Mr. Lastra, do you understand that the fine of 5,000 for this item must be paid within 30 days?
Okay, $5,000, right?
We're only on one item. We're only
We
on,
have to vote. We have to vote first.
Yes, I know. I'm just making sure since it's his Zoom and I'm not looking at him in the chambers that he heard what we said. So I'm just going a little step further to be sure he understands which one we're on for clarification. Okay, so now I need a motion.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
Thank you. Call the vote.
Yes, Commissioner Suarez, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanes,
Yes.
Commissioner Blanca,
Yes.
Mayor Rodriguez,
Yes.
4-0, item passes.
Next item.
Lastra, you understand, Madam Mayor?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Mr. Lastra, do you understand that you have to pay $5,000 on this particular item within 30 days? Do you not?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Attorney. Madam Manager, Madam Clerk, 11, item F, please.
F. 11F, resolution of the mayor and city commission of the city of West Miami authorizing the city manager to accept a mitigation offer in the amount of blank from Joel Lastra on code enforcement lien case number 16-10017 for code violation at the property located at 6102 Southwest 13th Street, West Miami, Florida, providing that if payment in full is not paid by blank, then the amount owed shall revert to the original lien amount, providing for effective date.
Thank you, Madam Manager. Mr. Penna, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This one is the violation related to the painting and the general upkeep of the property. Again, I spoke to Mr. Penna about our recommendation, and we are going to recommend that the mitigation be approved at $5,000 for this particular case. Again, this one does not deal with any structural building permits or anything other than the blight residential. And it's something that Mr. Lastra did not handle in a timely fashion. And unfortunately, all these fines have just accumulated over the years. And so our recommendation stands for $5,000 in this matter.
As clarification then, Madam Manager, this is number 1610017 Blight Residential.
Yes, and that is the one for the painting and general upkeep of the property.
And I do see that this one has been cleared as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are there any questions for the manager, Mr. Penna?
No.
Okay. The clerk has read the resolution. I need a motion.
Motion.
Madam Mayor, before you do that, please,
Yes, go ahead, sir.
you have to allow the applicant to address the commission.
Okay, well, he did when he first spoke, but I will break it down as well. Mr. Lastra, my apologies. I know you talked about this one when you talked about the preceding one. But go ahead. Did you have anything to say on this item? We're speaking about the blight residential, which would be the paint. Mr. Lastra, go ahead.
I paid the house a long time ago. These charges for the fence years ago. This amount is for the fence, for January, for everything, right?
No, we're breaking it down individually. We just finished talking about your fence. Now we're talking about the painting. We broke it down. Each one is being handled individually. So right now we're speaking about number 1610017, which is blight residential, which is for the paint.
Ine,
Yeah.
Ine,
The house right now is paint.
I'm sorry?
The house right now is paint.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Madam Manager, please, if you will repeat the what your recommendation to mitigate this fine
Yes,
down
it's-
to is?
Our recommendation, Mr. Penas and I spoke about this violation, and we're breaking it down by violation, this one that deals with the paint. We propose that you authorize a mitigation in the amount of $5,000.
And that covers our cost. That covers
That
the cost
covers
we've
the
incurred.
cost on the file, in the file, the hearings that were held before the code enforcement, the clerk's time, the attorney's time, our time in the file. Yes.
Thank you. And your recommendation for the time that this must be paid it by?
At the same 30 days, within the next 30 days.
Within the next 30 days.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Lastra, I just want to be sure that you heard what the manager said and that you were in agreement with that, with the 30-day payment window.
5,000 plus 5 for another 5,000.
Yes, sir. And we still have another one to go. We're not done yet. Like I said, we're breaking this down individually. So we need to speak on this one only at this time. So it'll be $5,000 within the next 30 days.
I have a more lien on the property. I have more lien on the Miami-Dade County. I can't pay 10% for the lien. It's a lot of money. I have a more lien on the property.
Well, the problem is, Mr. Lastra, you owe a lot more than we are recommending. We're only recommending that.
I can pay 10% for all liens.
We're not speaking about percentages, sir. We are taking each violation on its own merit and accord, and we are recommending that that only the cost that we incurred on this to be repaid. We're not speaking about percentages. I mean, the most that if my commissioner agrees is we might be able to give you more time, but that would be up to the commission. It's not for my say alone. Do you feel that I should ask the commission that you be giving a little more time? 45 days perhaps?
Can you explain to me in Spanish for understand better?
Madam Manager?
Yes, Joel, buenos días. ¿Me escuchas? ¿Me escuchas? Ok. Lo que la comisión está haciendo es tomando las mitigaciones, cada caso individualmente. And what I'm explaining to him is that the commission is considering mitigation separately. Tú tienes 3 casos en la agenda hoy donde tú estás pidiendo mitigación. You have 3 cases before the city commission today that where he's requesting mitigation. Esos casos se están llevando a cabo independientemente por violación. Entonces, la primera violación, the first violation, aprobaron una mitigación basada en la recomendación del staff, de la oficina nuestra, de $5,000 por el primer caso, $5,000 por el segundo caso, que sería lo de la cerca que estuvo pendiente tantos años y lo de la pintura y el mantenimiento de la parte de afuera de la casa que usted es dueño. So, por estas dos mitigaciones, si la comisión lo aprueba, hay un total de $10,000 en multas.
Es que la cerca se removió hace muchos años. Lo que pasa es que por falta de mi conocimiento, yo no lo reporté. Pero esa cerca se removió enseguida que él mandó la carta. Yo removí la cerca. Y tú sabes, no es justo que yo tenga que pagar tanta cantidad de dinero. Porque, tú sabes, tengo otros links en la propiedad y también tengo link en Miami-Dade County. Entonces, tú sabes cuánto dinero va a ser. Es demasiado dinero.
Madam Mayor, I explained to him in Spanish that how the commission was dealing with these violations, and we're dealing with them individual of each other by violation activity or violation cases. One was dealing with the fence that you already authorized. The next one that we're on now is the issue of the paint. So that he understood that they're not a collective mitigation. So he believes that the fines are excessive, that immediately upon being told that his fence did not meet the requirements of the city, that he took care of it, but he failed to notify the city. And so I tried to explain that to him, and I think that he considers the fines are excessive because he has other violations with Miami-Dade County or other liens concerning this property.
The same link, the same problem.
Thank you, Madam Manager. Mr. Pena, let me ask you, upon our many inspections of this property, wouldn't we have seen if that fence was taken care of when it was taken care of? Because I see that we've gone out there numerous times.
The file will be noted as soon as the fence was removed, yes.
Correct. That's what I wanted to mention. And
And the paint on the property.
Exactly. So we would have seen it because it's not like we went out there one time. And
No.
Mr. Lastra, I might mention that I'm seeing here on the file that you still have 2 that are not cleared. They're not being discussed today, but I mean, for the record, you still have 2 more that haven't been cleared. So we're not going to discuss them, but this property has not been brought completely compliant at this time. So we're only discussing the ones that have come into compliance. Any other questions from the table? Okay, so Mr. Lastra, I believe I offered you more time for payment. The manager is requesting 30 days. I could ask the table if you felt you needed more time. Would you like me to ask the table for more time to pay these liens?
Yeah, I need.
Would that be helpful for you?
I need more time.
Okay. I'm going to open up to the table if anyone would like to recommend.
The amount's a lot of money. It's still only for paying the house. The house was paid a long time ago, and I removed the fence a lot of years ago. The old fence, I removed the fence a lot of years ago. I don't report to the city, but it's a long time ago.
Mr. Pena, if you'd like, if you would like to repeat what you told me in Spanish for Mr. Lastra's benefit, because I know you've already told me. So if you'd like to repeat that in Spanish for Mr. Lastra. When I asked you if upon the many times we were at the property for the many different inspections, what your findings were?
Yes. Señor Lastra, cada vez que nosotros mandábamos una notificación a su casa, al 6102, como estaba escrito en el récord del condado, siempre se va y se inspecciona la propiedad. So, el tiempo que tuvo para quitar la cerca en la que pasó y ahora para pintar la casa en en la que estamos al cargo fue porque se demoró tanto en procesar el pedido de la ciudad con la violación. Basically, what I have told Mr. Lastra is that at every hearing that we have before the Code Enforcement Board on this property, prior to that, we go out and inspect the property, and if the violation is existing, it remains like that until it is corrected. We note the property once it is corrected, and at that point is when the lien is brought to the Code Enforcement Board for them to place on the property with the amount accumulated up to that point.
Thank you, Mr. Penna. Commissioner Suarez, I see your hand up, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, I think, Mayor, I think before we talk about time, we should go to the next case, this 1610018, to know how much is going to be recommended for the third case, and then we talk about time. But before we finish.
Yes, sir, but I asked the attorney at the beginning if we could discuss them all together, and his recommendation was that we take them individually. So I have to complete this one before I move on to the other. And it has to be noted in the amount of time we would give him on this one before we move on. That was my preference, but I have to yield to my attorney, and he is recommending we take them each individually. So at this time.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about individually. I'm talking, we give 30 days for the previous case.
Yes, sir.
So if you give it a different time in this, so will be different time for the third. I don't know. That's what I ask you about that.
I understand. Mr. Attorney, if we grant more time on this one, could we go back and amend the prior to give the same amount of time?
Each one is individual, and you may, as a matter of fact, amend in the same procedure, whatever time that you had before. So you might combine the timing in order to afford an opportunity to pay, because.
Thank you, sir. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
There are substantial fines in all 5 cases that we have in here, amounting to the hundreds of thousands of dollars. So if we find the gentleman with fines that he cannot pay, it would be a problem for him.
Yes, sir.
Has been a problem for the city. So therefore, you may amend the time that you had on the 1610016 at this point, because it's the same commission timing. And you can ask the gentleman whether he will be able to pay or not. And because if he does not pay by the time that you allow, the fine will revert back to the original. For instance, in 1610016, the amount was $24,079.50. And this particular one is $24,079.50. So if he does not pay within the 30 days, it would revert back to that almost $50,000.
Yes, sir.
I counted the one with the generator and others that are not presently at this point that he has to address. So it's up to you, and it's up to the commission.
Yes, sir. Thank you. With that said, considering we, as the attorney has just said, and I said before, we still have one more to go. I would like to offer, I'd like to extend the 30 days. I'd like to extend that. I'd like to give Mr. Lastra 90 days to pay. I want to amend the previous one. I'm sorry, I want to amend the previous one to 90 days, and I'd like to recommend that we give Mr. Lastra 90 days on this one, and then we will discuss the third one when we get there. Is there anyone opposed to my extending the time of payment to 90 days? Anyone on the commission opposed to that?
I got something.
Go ahead, Commissioner Blanes.
Does Mr. Lastra understand what we're saying here?
I'm going to have the manager repeat that in Spanish once I don't have any opposition from the table.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
Madam Manager, can you clarify your reconsideration on this item so that I am
Yes.
clear in my
Yes.
explanation?
Yes, and I haven't heard any opposition from Commissioner Blanca or Commissioner Suarez or Commissioner Blanes. I would like to amend the previous item, which was E. We gave Mr. Lastro 30 days. I want to amend that time of repayment to 90 days. And I want to offer him 90 days on the current item for repayment. If not, it reverts back to the original amount. And then we will discuss the third item when we get there. So I'm basically extending your 30-day recommendation of repayment to 90 days and with no opposition from the table.
May I proceed to
Yes,
explain
please.
it?
Yes, please.
Joel, mira, lo que la alcaldesa hizo fue presentar una reconsideración en la primera multa que te dieron los $5,000 de multa a pagar en 30 días. Ella está pidiéndole a la mesa, y yo creo que estarían de acuerdo, de darte un plazo de 90 días en vez de los 30 días para darte una oportunidad para un tiempito más para resolver tus asuntos y que puedas pagar la multa, la cantidad que se mitigó en el primer caso, y en el segundo caso estaría pendiente a un voto ya de la comisión que ellos han expresado que están dispuestos a darte un total de 90 días para pagar el total de $10,000 o $5,000 por cada una de estas multas, darte 3 meses, 90 días. ¿Estarías de acuerdo con ese cambio?
Sí, yo estaría de acuerdo en... Yo pudiera pagar antes, pero yo necesito una reconsideración de la cantidad de dinero, porque eso es demasiado dinero y yo tengo otros links en la propiedad. ¿Qué hago con el link de $170,000?
Eso es aparte, Joel. What he's saying that he would like a reconsideration on the mitigated amounts, and he's also asking what he's going to do with the other liens. And I'm telling him this is separate and not part of this agenda. He has yet to resolve those issues. Joel, lo que yo le acabo de explicar a los comisionados y a la alcaldesa es que a ti te quedan 2 violaciones después de estas 3 que tú tienes que resolver con la ciudad y llevar la propiedad a cumplimiento. Pero esos liens hoy no se están discutiendo. Esos liens vienen a la mesa cuando ya tú hayas cumplido con lo que el Departamento de Zonificación te haya pedido y los planos y todo lo que tú hablaste con Juan ya y con nosotros que tú tenías que hacer para traer la propiedad dentro de cumplimiento del código. I'm explaining to him that, as discussed with us when we met and with Mr. Pena, the other liens need to be resolved by way of building permits and zoning interaction with the zoning department to bring the property into compliance. So that the only mitigations that we're dealing with is obviously the 2 in question and the 1 next that has not been discussed yet.
Correct.
So, estas son las 2. Hay solamente 3 casos que están siendo considerados por la comisión hoy. Y uno de ellos se está reconsiderando. So, en este momento sería tu momento oportuno de decir si tú puedes pagarlo en 90 días. Now, he still believes that his fines are excessive. Tú todavía eres de opinión que tus multas son excesivas, ¿correcto?
Yo pienso que sí, porque yo pienso que me la pueden dejar un 10%, como se hacen todos los liens, se reconsideran todos los liens, se puede dejar un 10% porque es mucha cantidad de dinero y tengo link con Miami-Dade County también. ¿Cuánto va a llegar?
Ok, pero esto es la ciudad de West Miami. He's actually intertwining the liens that we have against the property with the liens that he has yet to resolve with Miami-Dade County. And he would like a 10% total mitigation on these liens.
Mr. Lastro, we don't discuss, we don't work on percentages in the city of West Miami. We take each case individually, and we look at it individually of its own merit, and we base our decisions solely upon our costs that are incurred. Obviously, the longer the file has been open, the more cost there are. So we do not, we don't make any money off of this. We simply recoup the money that it has cost the city, which is in turn costing all the residents money. And we simply recoup those costs. We don't work on percentages. Each case is individual. And ours has nothing to do with the county.
¿Entendiste lo que te explicó la alcaldesa?
Sí, sí.
Perdón,
Yes.
Joel?
Sí.
Yes, he understood, Madam Mayor.
Any other comments from the table?
I have a
Questions?
question. I have a question, Madam Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you've recommended to amend previous ordinance from 30 days to 90 days. Then this is a technical question to the city attorney. Don't we gonna have to go back to the resolution and vote again on the amendment, Mr.
That
Attorney?
was, after the discussion, that was my recommendation that you, if you have a reconsideration, you should go back to the original, to the
Item
1610016 and amend that. And
and vote again, yeah.
60017 and consider that one. The gentleman, he is stating is that that he requests a reconsideration on the fine that had been recommended by the city. But you have to go back to the original one to amend from 30 days to 90 days.
All right, so we'll finish this one and then we'll go back. Mr. Attorney?
I suggest that you go back first and then finish this one.
That might confuse it horribly, but okay.
They say, if you want to, Madam Mayor, so I can.
No, I don't, I want to do it the right way. So if that is your recommendation, then that is what we will do. Madam Manager, if you could please explain to Mr. Lastra in Spanish what the attorney is instructing us to do, please.
Okay, las instrucciones del abogado, Mr. Villalobos, again, you have just indicated that we need to go back to the other resolution and amend that 30-day decision and make it a 90-day window for him to pay the fine, correct?
That's the only issue that is at hand right now.
Ok, el abogado explicó que en el primer caso que se mitigó, que era el caso de la cerca, en vez de 30 días para pagar la multa, la comisión tiene que volver a esa resolución para darte un poco más de tiempo para pagar la multa de $5,000 que fue ya aprobada por la comisión. So, las dos multas se vencieran en un plazo de el pago de las multas, se vencen 90 días de la fecha de hoy. Am I correct, Mr. Villalobos?
Yes, you are.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Manager. Mr. Attorney, okay, so Madam Clerk, I'm trying to put everything straight in my head. At this time, we're going to take a vote on the first item again for the extension of time. Is that correct?
Yes, we go back to item 11E, resolution authorizing the city manager to accept a mitigation of $5,000 from Joel Lastra on code enforcement lien case 16-10016 for code enforcement violation at 6102 13th Street. And if payment in full is not paid in 90 days, this is an amendment to the previous vote, then the amount owed shall revert to the original lien amount, providing for an effective date. So this is a proposal to amend this resolution, the previous resolution. Now for 90 days.
Okay, do we need a motion again or just to revote?
You have to have a motion to.
A motion and second and a
Okay.
vote again.
I need a motion. I need a motion. Thank you. I need a second.
Second.
Thank you. Call the vote.
Yes, Commissioner Blanca, how do you vote? Commissioner Blanca, did you vote yes?
Let me unmute her. Hold on.
Commissioner
Commissioner
Blanca,
Blanca?
can you hear?
Yes.
Okay. Commissioner Blanes, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Suarez,
Yes.
Mayor Rodriguez,
Yes.
4-0, amendment passes. Now we go back to item F for case number 16-10017, $5,000, and you've considered also paying the amount in 90 days.
Motion.
Thank you. I need a second.
Second.
Thank you. Call the vote.
Commissioner Blanca,
Yes.
Commissioner Blanes,
Yes.
Commissioner Suarez,
Yes.
Mayor Rodriguez,
Yes.
4-0, item passes.
So Lasso, do you understand that if you don't pay within 90 days, the amount will revert back to the original amount?
Mr. Attorney, if you would repeat that in Spanish for Mr. Lastra as well.
I understand.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we
Next.
are on
Item G.
item G, 11G.
Yes.
Go ahead, read the resolution, Madam Clerk.
Yes, resolution of the mayor and city commission of the city of West Miami authorizing the city manager to accept a mitigation offer in the amount of blank from Joel Lastra on code enforcement lien case number 16-10018 for code violation of the property located at 6102 Southwest 13th Street, West Miami, Florida. Providing that if payment in full is not paid by blank, then the amount owed shall revert to the original lien amount, providing for effective date.
Madam Mayor, if I may, I have conferred with Mr. Penna on this item. And we both agree that the fine should be reduced to the original $350 for starting work without a permit. And this deals with the construction, actually lack of a building permit to install a generator, which was removed from the property. So again, this violation has been cleared. And the total amount due is $793.50. And we recommended the $350 in this case be paid within the next 30 days.
Just to be sure that our records are clear, our resolution cites the lien as being 1610018, yet I'm looking at a number of 0807018. Construction, no permit, generator. So what's the right number for the record?
Hannah, do you have that record before you? I believe it's 0807018.
That's correct.
That's
So the
correct. That's
resolution has a scrivener's error.
correct.
Yes.
Madam Clerk, can you correct it for the clarity of the, to make sure that we're referring to the correct violation?
Yes, duly noted, corrected for the record.
Okay, thank you, Madam Manager. So your recommendation on this one is $350. And again, I want to proffer 90 days on this one as well. Could you please translate for Mr. Lastra into Spanish, and then I will open it up to the table.
Yes, ma'am. Joel, esta violación tiene que ver con el generador que tú pusiste en la propiedad y después que se te dio la multa, pues ya se sabe que tú no tienes el generador después de lo que reveló la inspección. La recomendación de nosotros es que esta multa se permanezca en $350, que fue la multa original por instalar un generador sin los permisos adecuados. La recomendación nuestra era que pagaras esta multa en los próximos 30 días de esta fecha. La alcaldesa está proponiendo extender la cantidad para que sea consistente con los 90 días que te dieron para las otras dos mitigaciones.
Well, está bien.
Okay, Madam Mayor, he understands.
Thank you, Madam Manager. Now I'd like to open up to the table for any
Motion.
questions.
Motion.
Okay. Is there any questions prior to the motion from the table? No? Okay. I have a motion. I need a second.
Second.
Thank you. Call the vote.
Yes, Commissioner Blanes, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanca,
Yes.
Commissioner Suarez,
Yes.
Mayor Rodriguez,
Yes.
4-0, item passes.
Thank you, Madam Manager. Mr. Lastra, thank you for being present in the meeting this morning.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next item,
Item I, a resolution of the Mayor and City Commission of the City of West Miami authorizing the city manager to execute a contract to replace the outdated tractor backhoe with Trekker Group LLC, the lowest responsible bidder in the amount of blank, and to negotiate the best financing with said company or from Florida Sheriff's bid as stated in the memorandum by the Director of Public Works attached here to us and made part hereof as Exhibit A, providing for an effective date.
Madam Mayor, I believe that we should yield to Mr. Penn on this item. This is a piece of equipment that we have been discussing for quite some time. And I think we should hear from Juan, who has also proffered a memo on the need to purchase the backhoe.
thank you. Mr. Penna, go right ahead.
Madam Mayor, as you know, the present tractor backhoe that we have is in need of mechanical repairs. It was going to run anywhere from $5,800 and up. Once they opened it up, they would let us know what the actual cost would be. It's a 1989 Ford 555C tractor that I don't believe, after having it for 28 years, is worth spending another $6,000 or $7,000 on it. Therefore, we went ahead and we solicited quotes from the different manufacturers to obtain a new one. We had initially one from Ford New Holland unit for $106,400 and with an extended warranty for $972 and a 60-month lease purchase option. But once we went out and requested additional quotes from other vendors, we evaluated the units, and the Trekker Tractor LLC, which is a case 580SN for $105,225.86, although slightly more expensive, and with a 5,000 hour extended warranty that is more encompassing of the repairs if it should need any within those next 5 years, brought the total to 114. Although this is a little bit more expensive unit, it does offer additional capabilities that the other one doesn't have, and it will allow us to have hydraulic tools to work with off of the machine that will provide us the ability, once we're in a digging mode or down in a hole, additional tools that we may purchase at a later time, the operation of such tools in those confined spaces. Presently, we use mechanical gas driven tools to do some of the cutting and work inside those holes. However, those fumes at times become very overcoming, and that way, by changing to a hydraulic system, we eliminate those exposures to the men that use this equipment. So my recommendation is to go with the Trekker Tractor LLC quote, which is from the Florida Sheriff's Association bid for the amount stated.
Mr. Penna, you said our current piece of equipment lasted 28 years?
That's correct. We bought it in 1980. It's a 1989 unit, but we bought it right after Hurricane Andrew in 1992.
Madam Mayor, I need to be absent for 2 minutes, okay?
Yes, sir. And so that everyone knows, we are going to take a 5-minute break after this item. It was requested. So right after this, we take a 5-minute break. Okay, thank you, Mr. Penna. Are there any questions from the table on this item for Mr. Penna? Madam Manager?
Just so the record can reflect that we have incorporated the figures for the financing of this piece of equipment in the proposed budget, and then moving forward, we would have to honor the debt service on the equipment. But we recommend that we act upon this as quickly as possible.
So it's budgeted we need it to do our day-to-day business, our day-to-day public service, services for our residents. It lasted 28 years. And it's kind of a no-brainer. I don't see how there aren't any other avenues to take on this, Mr. Penna, correct? This is it.
Again, that's our recommendation. The other piece of equipment is warned its usefulness.
Okay, so it's a cost of doing business, cost of providing our services to our residents. Are there any questions from the table for Mr. Penna or the manager? Okay,
Motion.
I have a motion. Thank you, Commissioner. I have a
Second.
Madam Clerk, call the vote, please.
Yes, Commissioner Blanes, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanca,
Yes.
Commissioner Suarez,
Yes.
Mayor Rodriguez,
Yes.
4-0, item passes.
Thank
And
you.
just
And
for-
go ahead, sir.
Just for the record, if we place the order before September, the price is good, but we'll be receiving the unit sometime in January.
All right, so get that order placed. We want to honor that we want to keep that price, and then we'll be back in business in January. Perfect. Proceed, Madam Manager and Mr. Penna. Okay, with that said, I'd like to call for a 5-minute break. It is 12 p.m., so we will reconvene at 12:05.
Welcome back, Pete.
Good to be back and see all of you.
Okay, this is like for the police department. He sent me a message because I'm not here. No ha traído nada. Estaba llamando a él. No me contesta. La voy a llamar por el celular.
Okay, so I'm waiting for quorum. I don't have quorum yet, so as soon as either Commissioner Suarez or Commissioner Blanes returns, we will reconvene the meeting. Madam Clerk, I'm waiting for quorum. Madam Clerk, I believe I have quorum, but if you could call the roll for the record, and then we will proceed.
Yes, Madam Mayor, it's 12:10 p.m. and okay, let's call the roll. Luciano Suarez is not present. Commissioner Suarez, Commissioner Juan Blanes,
Present.
present. Commissioner Candida Blanca, present. Vice Mayor Diaz-Padrón is not present, and Mayor Rodriguez is present. You have 3 members, Madam Mayor. You have quorum.
Thank you. This meeting is called back to order. And next item, Madam Clerk.
Item 11J, resolution of the City of West Miami authorizing Rita Rodriguez, accounting clerk, as authorized agent of the City of West Miami to designate authorized banking signatures for banking purposes, providing for rescission in conflict and providing for effective date.
Thank you, Madam Manager.
Yes,
Motion.
Madam.
Sorry.
You scared me, Commissioner.
Thank you, Commissioner, but hold that thought for just one moment. Madam
Okay.
Manager, Manager, go ahead.
Madam
Manager.
Mayor, members of the commission, Rita is officially back from her brief retirement hiatus, which she volunteered for a full 6 months without missing a beat. So she's back on payroll now after a 6 month, actually 7 month hiatus from being paid and any benefits received by the city or anything like that. Now she's back on payroll, and as customary, she's been on the bank signature accounts for years, and we want to go ahead and have the proper representatives of the city being afforded the opportunity to sign checks on behalf of the city for our banking needs.
Thank you, Madam Manager. Is there any questions for the manager? Okay, I believe we have a motion on the table already from Commissioner Blanca. I need a second. I need a second. Thank you. Call the vote, Madam Clerk.
Yes, Commissioner Blanes, how do you vote? We can hear you.
Yes, he said
okay.
vote. He said yes.
Commissioner Blanca?
Yes.
Mayor Rodriguez?
Yes.
3-0, item passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, Madam Clerk.
Item K, appointment of member to the Code Enforcement Board by Mayor Rodriguez.
Yes, thank you. And let me just jump over to my notes. I did have a resident approach me with interest to be on the boards, and after checking with, where did I write this? After checking with you, Madam Clerk, and Mr. Penna, it was determined that we have an opening for an alternate on our Planning and Zoning Board. So at this time, I would like to nominate as an alternate. I'm sorry, I said Planning and Zoning, Code Enforcement Board, my apologies. I'd like to nominate as an alternate to our Code Enforcement Board, Jerry Diaz. Jerry grew up here as a child in the city of West Miami. His family owns the Metro PCS on the corner of 8th and 6-2. And his family has been in the city since 2000 and, I'm sorry, they've owned the Metro PCS since 2006. He himself is now a new city of West Miami homeowner. He purchased his home here about 3 years ago, and he owns his own business, Thunder Construction. So I would like to nominate Jerry Diaz as an alternate to our Code Enforcement Board. Is there any opposition or anyone opposed to my nomination? Upon hearing no nomination, no opposition, Madam Clerk, that is my nomination.
Okay, so are all in favor? All in favor say aye.
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 Okay.
Thank
Yes,
you.
will
Next
be-
item.
Yes, you have the contact information to Jerry Diaz, so please provide it to us so we can send him the welcome letter.
Yes.
And yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I will.
Yes. Item 11L, yearly evaluation of the city manager and city clerk by mayor and city commission.
Thank you. It's that time of the
Again.
year again. That's amazing. Well, as always, I'd like to open it up to the board, to the table, and then I will comment. Can I get any input from the table on, let's take, how do we want to, is it together? I lost my agenda. Hold on. Is it together or separate? How do we have it on the agenda?
Together.
Together. Okay, so commissioners, any comment on this item from either or both of you? Commissioner Blanca, Commissioner Blanes,
Ladies first.
Commissioner Blanca, that would be you.
Young people first. I think they both are doing a fantastic job. So
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Blanes, since Beauty went first, now it's your turn.
Okay, yeah, you know, considering all the circumstances that we are under and all the many challenges that we've had and that we are experiencing right now as we speak. I think that the manager and the city clerk have done an outstanding job. We always do what we need to do with what we have. And, somehow we make it work and we go forward and we move forward. And that is the most important thing, that we're moving forward and that we're getting the people's business done. So, I congratulate them both. They've done a superb job.
Thank you, sir. Thank you
And
very
I
much.
think, excuse me, I think we should bring a bed for the city manager, since it's here almost 24 hours. So Yoli, please bring your bed here.
Oh, bring your bed?
Bed.
Bring your bed here.
Commissioner, we do not have a bed budgeted, so we'll have to look at that next fiscal year, because we.
You call it at 8:30, 9 o'clock, she's still here, so might as well bring the bed.
Maybe
working remotely, that's what they refer to it.
No. What do you mean sleep? She can't sleep. It's 24/7, right?
That's right.
When she accepted this job, it was for a 24/7, 365 position.
That's right.
Commissioner Suarez, for the record, has returned. Commissioner Suarez, we are talking about, you came in during item L, which is the yearly evaluation of the city manager and city clerk. So I opened it up to the table for comments.
Yes, after all the good things were told in the table, I said my evaluation, city manager and city clerk, they're excellent. We have excellent city manager and excellent city clerk.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. I echo everything that's been said, but I'm gonna put it in my own words, so forgive me for duplicating. You both do an extraordinary job. I have been on, during this COVID-19 situation, I've been on multiple calls with other mayors and other members of the board, and hearing them talk, and I just know that we have the cream of the crop with our manager and our clerk. You guys step up. You step up to the plate every single time, no matter what the challenge is. You both perform your work with such professionalism and such care. And it just shows. It just shows in everything you do. Now, I'm not saying that, we don't disagree sometimes, because we do. We all of us, and then I know I'm speaking for the entire table, we all agree to disagree, and we don't always agree and see eye to eye on things. But as Commissioner Blanes said, we always find a way to come together and to do the right thing and the best thing for the city of West Miami. And you two are there for us all the time. And your passion and your ethic, your work ethic, it hasn't diminished over the years. You two are, have been here for quite some time, one more than the other, but your passion for the job and your love of the job, it hasn't diminished with time. And that happens a lot. People become complacent in their job and in their profession, and they kind of you lose interest or lose enthusiasm. But you two, that doesn't happen with either one of you. You come every day and you give it more than 100%. So I appreciate that. I know the commission appreciates that, and I know the residents do too. So for that, I thank you. And we'll keep you around for a little while. because of that. No, thank you for everything that you do every day. And like Commissioner Blanca said, it's not just during working hours. It is you both are there late, you both are there early, and you're always both available by phone. So it's not just day at the office for either one of you. You give it your all the time. So thank you very, very much for the job that you do.
Thank you,
Thank
Madam
you.
Mayor. Those are very touching words, and the same holds for all the comments expressed by the members of the City Commission, which I hold all of you very dear to my heart, because it's been many years that we have all been together, worked together. I have worked under you and served under you with the utmost respect. And I think you mentioned the word passion, Madam Mayor, most recently. And I want to say that that passion comes because of our love. And I say our because I want to include an area here too. We love our city. We love this city. This is my home. It's been my home since God, I want to say 1971. I grew up here. I'm not going anywhere. And so in each decision or each recommendation that is made by this office, or my hat, as wearing my hat as a city manager, is made with a sense of responsibility and a sense of ownership, if you would. I'm a resident, and what comes to you via this office, or what comes out of this office, affects me as a resident. And so I always put myself in everybody else's shoes, and I always try to rise above adversity and try to find peace so that we can move along the business of the city in a most professional manner. And I have to tell you that, again, we have been participating with many municipalities, especially during this pandemic. I never dreamed in my life that we would go through something like this. And here again, this profession has daily and yearly challenges not known to us, or past experiences. We thought we had seen it all with hurricanes and flooding episodes and all that. And now we have a pandemic, a real life, health or death situation that we're dealing with at our level, at our small level. And it's been a pleasure working with all the municipal entities and with the mayor and her involvement with the process, with the county, with other municipalities, with other managers. And I got to tell you that this job is unique, and it takes a special individual, and the same holds for the city clerk and those of us that are appointed to leadership position, because it's not about me. It takes a village to run this city, and I have the village. I have the right people that are part of this team, and we are all part of what your vision and your leadership has demonstrated to be fantastic for many, many years. So I look forward to working with you in the future and for you in the future, so that, you know, our city can continue to be the best city in Miami-Dade County. And I, for one, I'm very proud to serve and to live in our city. Thank you for your encouraging words.
Thank you, Madam Manager. Madam Clerk?
Yes, I just like to express my gratitude, and I'm very thankful for your support throughout the years. I've been with the city already for 24 years. And I mean, I started as a secretary for the Public Works Department, and today I'm the city clerk. So I must have done something good. And I have to inform you that I have recently submitted my application for admission and designation as a master municipal clerk. The application will take 2 or 3 weeks to review. So this program has been more extensive with an educational and professional contribution component, more complicated. And throughout those years that I've been trying to get my certification before and now towards my master municipal clerk, I've received tremendous support, like going to the academies from either from the commission, from staff, while I'm away, and I really appreciate that. And I think I consider myself being blessed for the confidence and for the support that you've put in me. So thank you. And I am looking forward to work for many more years with the city and for the city of West Miami. So thank you.
Well, thank you and congratulations on going for that certificate. We're very, very proud of you.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I
Well,
applied.
I'm sure, I have no doubt, seeing what you do and knowing how you are, that that will not be a problem. So congratulations on your on going for it. Congratulations. I would like to at this time, Madam Manager, and I might have talked, I think I might have mentioned this to you. Again, we're finally putting into play a lot of things we've talked about over the years. It's taken a long time, but at some point, I think I'd like to reciprocate the professionalism that you show to us as far as elected officials. And I'd like to reciprocate that professionalism. I'm going to obviously bring, ask the members of the table if they agree with me. I don't believe at this time, or if we've ever had an evaluation, a professional written evaluation form for our clerk, our manager, or our attorney. Has that ever existed? A written evaluation?
No. I believe that years ago there was something. I mean, I would have to go and dig through my rubble, 37 years worth of personnel file information. And I think at one point the commission did use a performance evaluation, like a survey. We use one for the employees here, and it touches upon all the categories. Well, we could help develop something for approval by the members of the city commission that you wish to use moving forward for those offices that respond to you directly.
Correct.
We can build upon what we have and tailor it more to these appointed positions.
I just think that would show, I mean, yes, every year we speak of our of our gratitude and how well of a job that you all do. But I just think having something written for your files, especially for our clerk, I mean, she's rather young compared to the rest of us, so she will hopefully be doing this for a very long time to come. And I just think having something written for you all, I just think that's a show of our, it would take us to another level of professionalism and showing our gratitude that we actually, yes, yeah, let me finish, Commissioner, and then I will acknowledge you. So I mean, I'd like to see that, but again, I'm obviously going to open it up to the rest of the table on their thoughts for that. So Commissioner Suarez, yes, you had your hand up.
You make a comparison that the clerk is young and the manager is not young? Because if you compare with you, do not compare with the manager, because the manager is a younger.
Younger. I should have said younger.
Thank you, Commissioner Suarez, for defending my age.
Madam Mayor, that's a very good idea.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Blanes, I'd like to hear from your thoughts on that. What you think about the idea, and we'll take it from there.
Writing down everything that we just said?
No. No, we will still continue to evaluate on a yearly basis as we're doing now and as we have done. But I would like to see a professional or a more evaluation form, so to speak, where with something that can go in their files. And I will leave it up to the manager. And
so who fills this forms out?
We would, the commission would. It would be for the city clerk, the city manager, and the city attorney. An evaluation form, so to speak. Now, it's not something that we would read into the record at the time of evaluation. We would continue doing what we're doing now, giving our personal thoughts and words at the yearly evaluation. But this will be something.
Don't make them too long, though.
No, not. Okay, it won't be made too long, but this will be something for the record.
I agree.
Okay, good, thank you.
We'll prepare
Um,
something for your consideration, and if you approve it, then we'll use that form moving forward.
Perfect, and thank you all for considering my thought and my suggestion. Thank you. Okay, so with that said, Madam Clerk, we are on to, I believe, item 12, consent agenda items.
Yes, yes, Madam Mayor.
Go ahead.
Would you like me to read the consent
Oh,
agenda?
I'm
item?
sorry, I'm sorry. Is there anyone, my apologies. Again, I'm looking at three different screens here. Is there anyone opposed or would like to pull out the consent agenda item? Otherwise, all in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, thank you. Consent agenda item passes unanimously. And the next I have is good of the order. Anyone good of the order? Upon hearing no one for the good of the order, again, I might have said this last time, I want to thank every single department. I have PD on here, I have front office, I have public services. I don't see John or anyone from the rec on here, but I see our city engineers, Mr. Attorney, everyone. I need to thank you for continuing to go above and beyond during these, these different times that we're living in. I know it's causing every one of you a little more work, but you're doing so graciously and always doing so and making the city of West Miami shine. So for that, I thank each and every one of you. And with that said, I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
This meeting is adjourned. Everyone have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of